So you're welcome to the peanut burger class. Here are the list of ingredients we'll be needing. We'll be needing our peanut. Okay, you can see how fresh and beautiful this peanut is looking. Okay, so I'm going to take out the dirt. Okay, inside this granite. I'm going to make sure to take out any dead stones. There are a whole lot of things inside. We'll be using our flour, all-purpose flour, some sugar, water, milk flavor. Okay, salt and egg. So now you can see we need some oil also for frying. I'm using King's oil. You need to use quality oil so as to avoid the rate at which your oil starts foaming when it starts to fry. Okay, we are using good oil. It takes a longer time for it to start foaming. All right, so now let's move to the next stage. Next thing I'm going to do is to pick my groundnut, okay, pick my peanut to ensure that I don't have any stone or any bad peanut or any divided peanut. Okay, if you have any divided peanut, you want to take it out because there is no way you're going to have a beautifully coated peanut with half a peanut. Okay, so you want to take those ones out. Take your time. Okay, take your time. To be very precise saying this, you don't want, especially if you want to sell this peanut, you don't want to be selling peanut that has stones, dirt, sand, or whatever in it. Okay, so you want to take your time to peel this, to pick the dirt out of the granite. Okay, so now I'm done picking. Look at the dirt that I took out to get all the bad peanut and stones that I was able to gather out. So the next thing I'm going to do is to soak my peanut in hot water and some salt. Okay, this is to ensure that any dirt inside the peanuts are washed off. Okay, and also the function of the salt is to ensure that we have this sweet tasty peanut. You want to make sure that your peanuts absorb some salt in it so that it can add more flavor and more taste to your peanut. Okay, you can see that I use hot boiling water. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to soak for like 10 minutes. Okay, so now I am back. Okay, you can see how dirty the water is. Imagine eating your peanut with this kind of dirty water. It's not even healthy. So now let's move on. I'm going to now drain out the water. Okay, we don't want this to soak too long in the water so that the peanut will not become all wet and all filled with water now, so that we'll be able to dry it quickly because we cannot use this peanut. We can't coat it while it is very very wet. Our flour will be sticking to it. So we are going to now I'm going to dry this. Okay, because the weather is not so shining, I'm going to be draining with my, I mean damping with my clean napkins. Okay, so that I can get enough water out of it, and also I'll be setting it in my oven. Okay, just for it to dry up for some minutes. Okay, I'm not going to be baking or toasting this groundnut though. I'm just going to be drying in my oven. And even there is enough sun, I'm going to set it in the sun. Or if I have a dehydrator, I'll probably be using a dehydrator to dry this up. My peanut is not all soaked up like that. It's just wet from the water that I used to wash it. Okay. So I'll first of all go with my dry napkins to dampen this. Okay. To make sure that I've gotten enough water. Okay, so that it won't be cooking in the oven. If I have the water in it while I set it in the oven, it will be cooking. Okay, so once I'm done, I'm going to set this in my oven to dehydrate and get back to us. You're welcome back. So to make our peanut coating, we'll be needing our wet ingredients and our dry ingredients. Our dry ingredients consist of our flour, milk flavor, and salt. And for our wet ingredients, we'll be needing our egg, water, and our sugar. Now, the reason why we are using water is we are making a commercial chin chin, so egg is a little bit expensive. We are using egg. Imagine you making up to 1 pint of um flour for 1 pint of peanut for your business. Using more egg is going to cost you more money, so we are substituting. Normally these 2 cups of peanuts, you need 2 eggs. Okay, so in order for us to make a commercial kind of peanuts, we'll be substituting one of the egg for water. So if your egg is a very big egg, I guess the amount of tablespoons of egg you'll be getting from it will be 4 tablespoons. So we are going to be replacing the other 4 tablespoons with our water. Okay, so for, let's say we now have 2 eggs. Okay, So in your sugar, you break in your eggs. Okay. So in our case, it's going to be egg and water. Okay. So we have sugar, egg, and the water. So I'm going to first of all mix in the water into the egg so that it can dissolve the sugar. Then in the different bowl, I'll be breaking my egg and then giving it a good whisk. Okay. So I believe by now my sugar must have dissolved in my water. Okay. So I'm going to stir this and mix the two together. Then I have my two eggs and my sugar mixed together. Do we understand the logic now? The purpose of the water is to reduce the amount of egg we add inside so we can make more profit while making this. Okay, so in the case where you have to make one bag of peanuts, you know how many eggs you've saved, the cost of how many eggs you've saved. Okay, so that is the purpose of using water. But originally, 2 cups of peanuts calls for 2 eggs. All right. So you're going to mix this together to ensure that everything dissolves. Okay. And then we move on to the next thing. So up next, I have my already dried peanut. You can see it's completely dried. Okay. So now what we are going to be doing is to be rotating our bowls. This is where the work start from. You don't have to rush, you don't have to do anything. And I will advise that in your bowl you have 2 cups in a bowl. So the reason why I said 2 cup is that when you start to rotate, if you have too many peanuts in your bowl, you won't be able to control it. It's going to be too heavy. You won't even have the strength because you need to keep doing this for as long as you get the peanuts coated. So if you add too much peanuts in your bowl, there won't be free movement for your peanuts to move. Okay, there needs to be free movement. So if you choke up your pan, it won't move very well, and it's going to be too heavy for you to move. Okay, so now I just added some flour to just shake up my flour so everything can be well dry. So by the time I add my wet ingredients, it won't be sticky. Okay, so you can see me spinning my bowl around, flipping it up and down. I'll be tossing it up and down and then spinning it. Okay, that is what you are going to be doing so that you can coat your balls into a perfect ball. If you make egg roll, you understand this logic very well. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding my wet ingredients 1 tablespoon at a time. Reason is that if you had too much, maybe like extra or too much wet ingredient, your ingredient is going to stick to the bottom of the pan. Okay, by the time you add your next flour, you're going to be having plenty flour sticking to the bottom of your pan, which you don't want. Okay, so after adding, you just want to try to toss it around, toss it up and down, then shake your pan, shake it in a circular motion, okay, like so. You can see me. After my groundnut must have consumed all of the wet ingredients, okay, I'm going to add in another flour, okay, and then repeat the process. I'm also adding the flour according to how much I know my peanuts can take at the time. I'm not packing everything. If you pack everything, you're going to discover that your flour and your flour is just going to cake to one side of your pan. No, that is not what you want. You want your peanuts consuming all of the butter, all of the flour and the wet ingredients so that you can have a perfectly boiled peanut. Okay? So you can see I'm going to ensure that my peanut has taken all of the flour before I add another wet ingredient. Just watch. You can see I'm going to ensure that I have every flour taken, okay? Because if I leave too much flour in the pan, by the time I add my wet ingredient, it's going to stick. I hope you understand. It's going to stick. Imagine adding flour to water. It's going to cake up, and that is not what we want. We want the cake. We want everything to form balls around our peanuts, okay? You see, this is why I said you should not do more than 2 cups at a time. At some point, it's going to be too heavy, too overpowering, and by the time you start coating, the size of your peanut is going to be bigger. The size will increase because obviously the peanut has been coated on the flour. Okay, I mean the flour has been coated on the peanut, so it's going to increase in size. So if you have too much, it's going to stick to each other. You want to have a very nice individually coated peanut. Okay, just shake. Okay, I'm just going to fast forward from now on so that this video does not take a lot of time. So you keep doing this until you exhaust your 2 cups of flour and your wet ingredients. Okay, until you exhaust everything. Do not worry, the recipe I give is the exact recipe needed to coat 2 cups of peanuts. Okay, so you should not have any excess. The only thing that can happen is if you are using a very large egg, okay, you might end up having maybe some egg residue left, and as soon as you see that the peanut is coated, you may leave it, or you may just consume it finish and then add extra flour to coat your peanut. It's still going to work, okay. But as soon as your wet ingredient finishes, that is the end of your coating, okay. So I'm going to do this till I exhaust every single thing. You can see that it's already forming the shape. You can see you don't have to rush this process. Don't go and pack everything. You need to take your time. Peanut making is a business of love, is a show of love. Okay, so you need to take your time, be patient. If you rush, you will not get the desired result. Okay.
All the instruction properly. Should have a beautiful coated peanut like this. I apologize. I don't know. I think I accidentally delete one of the clip showing where I fried the peanut. Okay, so what you just have to do once you are done coating it, just set it inside your hot oil. Okay, place your oil on fire. Let it heat up. Okay, but be careful. Don't fry on high heat. If you fry on high heat,
Your peanut won't get cooked thoroughly, all right. And also you want to note that when you had your peanut on inside the oil, do not stir immediately. If you stir, you are going to end up peeling the coating inside your granite. Okay, so once you put it on fire, just leave it to set just a little bit. Okay, if it sticks together, don't worry, when you get inside the oil, it's going to separate. So, warning, do not stir immediately you pour your peanut inside the oil. If you do so, the coating will fall off the granite. Okay, so you do so and you keep stirring until you have a golden brown peanut, and you're going to have beautiful peanuts like the one I have in this video. See you in the next one. Bye. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so you can get valuable content like this. Bye for now.